Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cosmic Currents. Today we're talking about something foundational to understanding yourself and others: the astrological modalities. Have you ever wondered why you re a person who loves to start new projects but struggles to finish them? Or why a friend of yours can stick with a goal for years while you get bored after a few months? Or maybe you're the kind of person who is always adapting, always in a state of flux, and it can feel a little scattered. This isn't just about your sun sign. It's about the deep, foundational energy that drives you, the part of you that's either a cardinal, fixed, or mutable force in the world. Before we dive into the stars, if you're finding these insights helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps this energy reach more people who need it. Drop a comment below and tell me a question you're asking the universe right now. Alright, find a comfortable spot and let's align our energy with the cosmos. You see, the signs of the zodiac are divided not just by element earth, air, fire, and water, but also by this other equally important quality, their modality. Think of it like a second layer of personality, a layer that explains how you operate in the world, not just what you're made of. The three modalities represent the three stages of a cycle, a cosmic rhythm that mirrors life itself. Cardinal energy is the initiator, the spark that ignites a new beginning. It's the first breath of spring, the rush of a new idea, the moment you decide to take a leap of faith. It's the point of origin. Then, you have fixed energy. This is the sustainer, the keeper of the flame. It's the stable warmth of summer, the dedication to a long-term goal, the anchor that holds a vision steady and brings it to fruition. It's the enduring middle. Finally, there's mutable energy. This is the adapter, the great synthesizer of the zodiac. It's the gentle decay of autumn, the flexibility needed to pivot when a plan changes, the ability to release and prepare for the next cycle. It's the transition. When you look at your birth chart, you'll find that all 12 signs fall into one of these three categories. Your sun, moon, and rising signs all have a modality, as do all the other planets in your chart. The blend of these energies in your chart is what creates your unique approach to life. Are you a person who is mostly cardinal? You'll find yourself constantly starting new things, driven by that initial burst of inspiration. Do you have a lot of fixed energy? You're likely the one who holds a project together, the one people can rely on for consistency. Or is your chart heavy in mutable energy? You are the master of going with the flow, of shifting and changing to fit the needs of the moment. This isn't about one being better than the other. It's about understanding your natural rhythm so you can work with it, not against it. Imagine a group project. The person with strong cardinal energy is the one who says, "Let's do it. I have a great idea." They get the ball rolling. The person with strong fixed energy is the one who steps in next and says, "Great idea. I'll create a detailed plan and a timeline to make sure we stay on track." They provide the stability and follow through. And the person with strong mutable energy, they are the ones who can handle the inevitable roadblocks, saying, "Oh, that part didn't work. No problem, let's pivot and try this instead." They are the ones who can synthesize new information and adapt the plan to a new reality. All three energies are essential for a successful outcome. The first step in this journey is simply recognizing the existence of these forces within you. Think about a time recently when you started something new. What was that feeling like? Was it exhilarating, impulsive, or did it feel like a massive effort? Now, think about a long-term project you've been working on. Was it a consistent effort, or did you have to constantly change your approach? The answers to these questions are clues, and we're going to unpack all of them in this series. By the end of our time together, you'll have a much deeper appreciation for the way you move through the world and an even greater understanding of why the people around you do the same. This knowledge brings compassion for yourself and others, and that's a beautiful gift. Let us get into the heart of it all by exploring the first of the three modalities, cardinal energy. If you have a strong cardinal presence in your chart, you are, by your very nature, an initiator. You are the beginning, the spark, the first domino in a long chain of events. Think about the feeling of a new idea hitting you, that rush of inspiration, that sudden clarity, that urge to just go. That is pure cardinal energy. It's the energy of Aries, the ram that charges headfirst into a new season. But it's also the subtle, protective instinct of Cancer initiating a new home, the diplomatic drive of Libra starting a conversation, and the ambitious push of Capricorn to build something lasting. You'll find that cardinal energy isn't just about big, grand beginnings. It's also present in the small, daily acts of creation. It's the energy that gets you out of bed in the morning to start your day, the instinct that prompts you to send that first email, or the courage it takes to say hello to someone new. You may have a cardinal sun, moon, or rising sign, or you might have a cluster of planets in cardinal signs. Regardless of the specifics, if this energy is strong in you, you'll feel a deep-seated need to be the one who gets things moving. You don't like to wait for permission or to be told what to do. You'd rather forge your own path, even if it's a little messy at first. This is a powerful, dynamic force. It is the life force that says, let's do this. For the most part, this feels exhilarating. You are a mover and a shaker. You see a problem and your first thought is, how can I fix this? You see a blank canvas and your mind is already painting. But like all great strengths, this energy can also present its own set of challenges. Because you are so good at beginning, you may not be as skilled at sustaining or adapting. The excitement of a new project can sometimes be the only thing that holds your interest. Once the initial adrenaline wears off, you might feel the urge to jump to the next new thing, leaving the old one unfinished. This isn't a flaw, it's simply the nature of the energy. You are designed to start, to plant the seed, to set the course. You may need to consciously work on the follow-through, or surround yourself with people who are strong in the other modalities to help you see things to completion. Let's bring this to life with a real-world example. Imagine you've decided you want to get in shape. The person with strong cardinal energy is the one who wakes up one morning and impulsively buys a gym membership and a whole new workout wardrobe. They get so fired up by the idea that they immediately start researching personal trainers and new workout routines. They might even try out 3 different gyms in 1 week. The act of starting is the most important part for them. They love the feeling of initiating this new phase of their life. You'll find them talking about their new goal with everyone, full of enthusiasm and a can-do attitude. They are all about the newness, the rush of fresh energy. They may even get a few friends to join them because their energy is contagious. The essential spiritual principle here is that every action, every creation, and every change in the universe begins with a single point of origin. Your cardinal energy is your personal point of origin, your unique spark. Embracing this is not just about understanding a part of your personality. It's about honoring your ability to create, to initiate, and to bring new things into being. You are the start of a story. What story are you longing to begin right now? When you listen to that voice, you're listening to your cardinal self. So, the next time you feel that pull to start something new, don't dismiss it. Lean into it. That's your inner cosmos guiding you toward your next creation. Building on that cardinal spark, let's explore the signs that embody this powerful initiating energy. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. It's easy to see the cardinal quality in Aries. They are the quintessential trailblazers, the first sign of the zodiac, and the embodiment of raw forward momentum. They are the ones who say, I'm going to start a new business, and then simply do it, fueled by sheer will and an almost childlike trust in their own instincts. Their leadership is direct, immediate, and full of action. But the cardinal quality isn't just about bold physical action. It's about being the first to act in any domain. Consider Cancer, the cardinal water sign. Their initiating quality is focused on the emotional realm and the home. They are the ones who will be the first to start a family, to create a safe space for others, or to initiate a deep heart-to-heart conversation. They are leaders in nurturing and care. A Cancer will see an emotional need and be the first to step in to provide comfort, to start a new family tradition, or to make a house a home. Their leadership is often felt in the subtle yet powerful ways they create emotional foundations for others. This drive to initiate is just as strong as Aries, but it's channeled into a different kind of beginning. Then we have Libra, the cardinal air sign. A Libra will be the first to reach out and form a partnership, to start a new social group, or to mediate a conflict, to find a peaceful resolution. They lead by bringing people together and creating balance. Their courage is found in the willingness to start a difficult conversation in the name of harmony. When you see someone bravely suggesting a compromise that no one else has considered, or a person who consistently brings new people into their circle, you are seeing Libra's cardinal energy at work. They are pioneers of connection and fairness. Finally, there's Capricorn, the cardinal earth sign. Their initiation is grounded and long-term. A Capricorn will be the first to lay the foundation for a new structure, to climb a new corporate ladder, or to embark on a long-term plan with disciplined ambition. They are the leaders who initiate new systems, new businesses, and new pathways to success. Their approach isn't impulsive, it's a meticulously planned beginning. They look at a mountain and their immediate instinct is to start the ascent, one careful step at a time. This is their cardinal nature, the drive to be the first to reach the top, to build something that lasts for generations. The common thread that unites all 4 of these signs is a shared quality of leadership and a deep-seated instinct to be the first to act. Whether it's initiating a war, Aries, a family Cancer, a contract Libra, or a corporation Capricorn, their core impulse is the same. To begin, they are the go-getters, the trendsetters, the people who get the ball rolling. You can honor your own cardinal energy by taking that first step, by daring to be the first, and by trusting in your own power to create a new reality. Think about a moment in your life when you felt that surge of energy. That sudden urge to begin something entirely new before anyone else did. What did it feel like? Was it exhilarating? Was it a little scary? That was your inner cardinal self emerging. The question to sit with now is this: what small or big beginning are you being called to initiate in your life right now? Alright, we've talked about the spark, the initiator, the cardinal energy. Now let's move to the next phase of the cosmic cycle, the force that sustains and holds everything in place. Fixed energy. If cardinal is the breath you take in, fixed is the holding of that breath. If cardinal is the person who plants the seed, fixed is the one who waters it every day and waits for it to grow. This is the energy of stability, endurance, and unwavering commitment. It's the steadfast warmth of a long summer day, the solid foundation of a building, and the quiet dedication that brings a vision to life. The signs that embody this powerful grounding energy are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You'll notice they fall in the middle of each season. Taurus holds the full promise of spring. Leo radiates the height of summer. Scorpio deepens the essence of autumn, and Aquarius freezes the core of winter. This is no coincidence. Their purpose is to solidify the changes that the cardinal signs initiate. A person with a strong fixed presence in their chart is a natural sustainer. You'll find them to be reliable, persistent, and incredibly dedicated to their goals. They are the people you can count on when the going gets tough, because once they commit to something or someone, they are in it for the long haul. This energy brings an incredible power to your life. When you have a strong, fixed influence, you are a master of follow-through. You are not easily swayed by distractions or new fads. You have a deep well of patience and an almost stubborn determination to see things to their completion. This is a tremendous gift in a world that often values speed over substance. You are the one who provides the substance. You can hold a vision not just in your mind, but in a way that allows you to work steadily and meticulously toward it. You are the rock, the anchor, the one who finishes what was started. But like all things in the universe, this powerful energy has a shadow side, which we'll get to later. For now, let's focus on the beauty of it. Think about the feeling of being completely immersed in a task, so focused and so present that time seems to disappear. That is fixed energy in its pure form. You are not just doing the work, you are being the work. This is the energy that allows you to master a skill, to build a business over a decade, or to maintain a loving relationship for a lifetime. It's not flashy, it's not about quick wins, it's about building something of true and lasting value. Let's revisit our group project example. If the cardinal person got the project started, the fixed person is the one who creates the detailed plan, sets the deadlines, and holds everyone accountable. They are the ones who say, okay, that's a great idea, but how are we going to do it? What's the schedule? Who's responsible for what? Their job is to bring the idea down to earth and give it form. They will be the ones to put in the consistent effort day after day, week after week, to ensure the project doesn't just fade away after the initial burst of excitement. They are the quiet engine, the backbone of the operation. The core spiritual principle of fixed energy is that manifestation requires sustained effort. A beautiful vision is only an idea until it is given a stable form and consistent attention. Your fixed energy is the part of you that provides that form and attention. It's the part of you that knows that patience and persistence are not weaknesses but superpowers. What in your life are you currently holding steady? What long-term vision are you nurturing with your daily actions? Acknowledging and honoring this part of yourself allows you to tap into an incredible source of endurance. So, when you feel that deep, stubborn pull to keep going, know that it's your inner cosmos reminding you of your amazing capacity to see things through. Now that we've established fixed energy as the sustainer, let's explore the 4 signs that embody this quality: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. While they are each so unique in their expression, they share a deep-seated core of persistence and resilience. Think about Taurus, the fixed earth sign. Their stability is literal lits, grounded, sensory, and unshakable. When a Taurus commits to a goal, a relationship, or even just a beautiful garden, they will tend to it with a methodical and patient dedication that is simply unmatched. You'll find their resilience in their ability to weather any storm, holding firm to what they've built and what they believe is theirs. Then there's Leo, the fixed fire sign. Their stability isn't about being unmoving in a physical sense, but about being unwavering in their identity and purpose. A Leo holds their vision for a creative project or a leadership role with fierce loyalty. Once a Leo has their heart set on something, they will pour every ounce of their energy into it, radiating warmth and confidence to sustain the effort. Their resilience comes from their unshakable belief in themselves and their creative output. You may have a friend who is a Leo, and you'll notice how they hold a consistent space for fun and joy, refusing to let circumstances dim their light. That's their fixed energy at play. Next, we have Scorpio, the fixed water sign. Their tenacity is emotional and psychological. A Scorpio will hold a feeling, a secret, or a deep-seated conviction with an intensity that can be both powerful and consuming. When they are committed to a person or a cause, their loyalty runs deep and is incredibly enduring. Their resilience is found in their ability to navigate and transform through emotional depths that would break others. They are masters of holding space for complex emotions, and their fixed quality allows them to probe and hold on to a truth until they have fully understood it. This is not a fast, impulsive energy. It is a slow, methodical, and intense one. Finally, consider Aquarius, the fixed air sign. Their steadfastness isn't emotional or physical, but intellectual and ideological. An Aquarius is fixed on their principles, their ideals for humanity, and their vision for the future. They will hold a belief about social change or a new scientific theory with incredible tenacity, often in the face of widespread opposition. Their resilience is their ability to remain detached from emotional drama while staying committed to their mental vision. They are the ones who can maintain a long-term plan for a humanitarian project. Even when the immediate results are not visible, their minds are fixed on the future, and they will not be easily swayed from their unique path. The common thread uniting all these signs is a core nature of persistence and resilience. Whether they are nurturing a garden, a creative project, a deep emotional connection, or a social ideal, they are the you can rely on them to be there, to follow through, and to see a project, a relationship, or a vision to its full completion. This isn't just a personality trait, it is a profound spiritual quality. It is the ability to show up day after day and to keep going even when the initial excitement has faded. It is a testament to the power of steady, consistent effort. Think about a goal you've been working on for a long time. What has kept you going? Was it a burst of inspiration, or was it a quiet, steady commitment? Chances are, that quiet, steady part of you is your inner fixed energy at work. The thought-provoking question for you today is this: in what area of your life would a little more consistent effort create a lasting, beautiful result? Now we've traveled from the initial spark of cardinal energy and the steadfast dedication of fixed energy. It's time to move into the final and, in many ways, most adaptable of the three modalities: mutable energy. If cardinal is the person who starts the project and fixed is the person who sees it through, mutable is the one who steps in to handle all the unexpected changes, the pivots, and the adjustments along the way. This is the energy of flow, communication, and transformation. Think of it as the transition between seasons, the gentle shift that allows one cycle to end so another can begin. The signs that embody this fluid, adaptable energy are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. These signs appear at the end of each season, embodying the qualities of letting go and preparing for what's next. A person with a strong mutable presence in their chart is a natural adapter. You'll find that you are flexible, open to new ideas, and highly skilled at handling change. You can see multiple sides to an issue and are often the peacemaker, the diplomat, or the person who can synthesize disparate ideas into a coherent whole. Your gift is your ability to go with the flow, to release what no longer serves you, and to gracefully transition from one state of being to another. This energy brings an incredible power to your life. In a world that is constantly changing, you are the one who is best equipped to navigate the uncertainty. You are not attached to a single plan or a single outcome. Instead, you are open to all possibilities, which allows you to be an incredible learner and a natural guide for others. You are the one who can step back from a situation, see all the different angles, and offer a perspective that others may have missed. Your adaptability isn't just a convenience, it's a spiritual superpower. It allows you to release the need for control and trust in the unfolding of life itself. However, like all great strengths, this energy also has its challenges. Because you are so good at adapting, you may sometimes struggle with indecisiveness or a feeling of being scattered. You might have so many ideas and so many interests that it's difficult to settle on just one. This isn't a flaw. It's simply a sign that you need to consciously ground yourself. Your purpose is not to be a fixed anchor, but to be a fluid river. The key is to learn how to channel your flow in a way that feels purposeful and aligned, rather than just random. Let's return to our group project example. If the cardinal person started the project and the fixed person created the plan, the mutable person is the one who sees that an unexpected problem has come up and says, "That's okay. What if we reframe this entire section? I've been doing some research and I think there's a different approach we can take that might be even better." They are the ones who can synthesize new information and adapt the plan to a new reality. They are the great communicators, the ones who can bridge the gap between different ideas and different people, ensuring the project can continue to move forward even when it hits a roadblock. They are not afraid of change. They see it as an opportunity for growth and evolution. The core spiritual principle of mutable energy is that change is the only constant. Life is a river, not a stagnant pool. Your mutable energy is the part of you that knows how to swim in that river, how to pivot when the current shifts, and how to find new paths when the old ones disappear. You are the master of transition. What are you currently releasing in your life that is making space for something new? When you honor this part of yourself, you honor the very nature of life itself. Now let's connect the dots and explore the 4 signs that embody this adaptable, transitional energy: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. As with the other modalities, they each express this quality in their own unique way, but they all share a core nature of adaptability and a deep understanding of flow. Consider Gemini, the mutable air sign. Their adaptability is mental and communicative. A Gemini can shift between ideas, conversations, and perspectives with remarkable speed and ease. They can see an issue from multiple angles and are masters of synthesizing new information. Their flow is in the constant motion of their mind. They are always curious, always learning, and always ready to pivot to a new conversation or a new interest. Then there's Virgo, the mutable earth sign. Their adaptability is grounded and practical. A Virgo can take a chaotic situation and bring order to it by reorganizing, refining, and adjusting the details. They are the ones who can take a messy, unorganized idea and create a perfect functional system. Their flow is in the constant process of improvement and refinement. They understand that a plan is never perfect, and that continuous small adjustments are what lead to true success. A Virgo's mutable nature is one of service and practicality. They are always willing to adjust their approach to be more helpful and efficient. Next, we have Sagittarius, the mutable fire sign. Their adaptability is philosophical and adventurous. A Sagittarius can quickly pivot their beliefs or their life path based on new experiences or information. They are not tied down by a single truth, but are always seeking a higher understanding. Their flow is in the constant search for new horizons, whether those are physical through travel or mental through learning. They are the ones who can let go of an old belief system with a sense of adventure, always ready for the next great journey. You'll find that a Sagittarius is rarely rigid in their beliefs. They are open to change and growth, and they will adapt their truth as their world expands. Finally, there's Pisces, the mutable water sign. Their adaptability is emotional and spiritual. A Pisces can absorb and reflect the energies around them, moving seamlessly between different emotional states and realities. Their flow is in the dissolution of boundaries. They can adapt to any emotional climate, often serving as a spiritual bridge between different people or ideas. Their resilience is in their ability to release what no longer serves them and to merge with the collective consciousness. Finding a new path forward, not through logic, but through intuition, a Pisces can let go of a dream with a sense of grace, knowing that another one will simply rise to take its place. The common thread that unites all 4 of these signs is their shared ability to adapt and navigate change with ease. They are the great synthesizers of the zodiac, the ones who can let go of the old to make way for the new. Whether they are adjusting a conversation, a system, a belief, or an emotional state, their core impulse is the same: to transition. This is their gift to the world, and it's a gift that you can cultivate in yourself, regardless of your sun sign. You can honor your own mutable energy by being open to change, by trusting in the process of evolution, and by allowing yourself to go with the flow. Think about a time in your life when everything seemed to be in flux. Did you fight it, or did you find a way to navigate it? The part of you that found a way to navigate is your inner mutable self at work. The question for you to ponder today is this: what in your life is asking you to release your grip and simply go with the flow? We've now explored each of the 3 modalities as distinct forces. You have the cardinal spark that starts everything, the fixed anchor that holds everything steady, and the mutable current that allows for graceful adaptation. But these are not just separate qualities. They are a cycle, and they often work together in your own life and in the lives of those around you. Let's bring this to life with a single, relatable scenario to see how these energies play out in a real-world setting. Imagine you've decided to start a new creative project, like a podcast. The person with a strong cardinal influence is the one who has the initial burst of inspiration. They wake up one morning with a brilliant idea for a podcast and immediately start. They register the name, buy the equipment, and maybe even record a pilot episode all in the same week. They are fueled by the excitement of the beginning. They are the ones who say, "I'm doing this. This is going to be amazing." Their motivation is the thrill of the new, the joy of creation. For them, the hardest part is not starting, but sustaining the momentum once the initial high wears off. Next, the person with the strong fixed influence is the one who comes in and gives the project structure. They love the idea, but their first thought is, okay, that's a great start. Now let's create a content calendar for the next 6 months. We need a consistent release schedule, a plan for promotion, and a detailed budget. They are the ones who make sure the podcast doesn't just fizzle out after a few episodes. They are the quiet, steady engine. They find joy in the process of building, in the consistent day-to-day work of making a dream a reality. They are the ones who will edit every episode, no matter how tedious, because they are committed to the long-term vision. Finally, the person with a strong mutable influence is the one who handles all the inevitable twists and turns. Let's say the initial idea isn't resonating with the audience, or a new piece of technology comes out that changes how podcasts are made. The mutable person is the one who says, it looks like our audience isn't responding to that format. Let's pivot. What if we brought on guest speakers? I have some ideas. They are the ones who can gracefully and effortlessly shift the direction of the project based on new information. They see change not as a roadblock, but as an opportunity for growth and evolution. They are the ones who will stay up to date on new trends, ensuring the project remains relevant and flexible. Notice that no one modality is better than the others. A project started by a cardinal person alone might never get off the ground. A project run by a fixed person alone might become too rigid and unable to adapt to change. A project managed by a mutable person alone might never have a clear, consistent vision. The magic happens when these energies work together. You need the cardinal to initiate the vision, the fixed to give it form and see it through, and the mutable to adapt to the ever-changing landscape. This isn't just about a creative project. This is about your life. Think about a big goal you're working toward right now. Do you have a good sense of your own dominant modality? Do you find yourself being the one to start, to sustain, or to adapt? The spiritual insight here is that you can consciously cultivate the other modalities within yourself, and you can also seek out relationships with people who bring the energies you might be lacking. This is the beauty of collaboration, both with others and with the different parts of your own spirit. As we deepen our understanding of the modalities, let's explore how they express themselves in the world of relationships. It's a place where all three energies, cardinal, fixed, and mutable, are in constant interplay. Let's start with the cardinal energy in relationships. If you have a strong cardinal influence, you are likely the one who initiates the connection. You might be the person who first asks for the number, sends the first text, or suggests the first date. You are a pioneer in your relationships, always looking for a new beginning, a new adventure, or a new way to connect. This cardinal drive brings a beautiful sense of momentum and excitement to a partnership. You are full of fresh ideas and are not afraid to be the one to take the lead. You love the feeling of a relationship in its nascent stage, the thrill of a first kiss, the excitement of new love, and the joy of creating something new together. You are the architect of the relationship's journey, always looking for the next step forward. When a cardinal person is in a relationship, they want to keep things moving, evolving, and growing. They hate stagnation and will instinctively try to initiate a new conversation or a new activity to keep the energy fresh and alive. However, like all powerful energies, this quality has its own set of challenges. Because you are so good at initiating, you may sometimes struggle with the day-to-day work of maintaining a relationship. The initial spark might fade, and you may find yourself looking for a new one. This isn't because you are fickle, it's because your nature is to be the beginning. The spiritual lesson for you here is to learn how to find new beginnings within the relationship you're in. Can you initiate a new level of emotional intimacy, a new shared hobby, a new way of communicating? The challenge is to channel that cardinal impulse into the relationship itself, rather than toward a new one. Let's think about this with a real-world example. Imagine you and your partner are in a bit of a rut. The person with strong cardinal energy is the one who will immediately suggest something to shake things up. Let's plan a spontaneous trip to the mountains this weekend. Or what if we tried couples therapy to get a fresh perspective? They will be the first to propose a solution, a new idea, or a new direction. Their gift is their ability to see a problem as an opportunity for a new beginning. They are not content to let things stagnate. They will do something about it. The spiritual insight here is that every relationship, no matter how long, needs moments of cardinal energy to be reignited and restarted. Your cardinal quality is a gift you bring to every connection. You are the one who can reignite the spark, who can bring new life and new ideas to a partnership. So, the question to reflect on is this: how can you use your cardinal energy to initiate a deeper, more meaningful connection in your current relationships? While the cardinal person loves the beginning, you love the middle. You are the one who shows up day after day, year after year, with unwavering reliability. Your presence in a relationship is a grounding force. You are the rock, the anchor, the person who says, "I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." This fixed energy brings an incredible sense of security and stability to a partnership. You don't just say you'll be there, you actually are. You are the one who remembers anniversaries, keeps promises, and builds a sense of shared history. This is the energy of a long-term marriage, a lifelong friendship, or a family that has weathered every storm. The spiritual principle here is that true love isn't just a feeling, it's an action, a consistent choice made over time. Because you are so committed, you may struggle with flexibility. When a partner suggests a major change or a new direction for the relationship, your first instinct might be to resist it. You may find yourself holding on to old patterns or old habits even when they no longer serve the relationship. So, we've covered the initiator, cardinal, and the sustainer fixed. In relationships, now, let's talk about the final and in many ways most flexible of the three energies, mutable. If you have a strong mutable influence in your chart, you are a master of adaptability in your partnerships. You don't just endure change, you thrive on it. Your presence in a relationship is a dynamic, ever-evolving force, always ready to pivot, grow, and explore new depths. You are the great communicator, the one who can bridge differences and find common ground. This mutable energy brings an incredible sense of freedom and fluidity to a partnership. You are not rigid about plans or expectations. You are open to spontaneous adventures, new ideas, and new ways of being with your partner. You love to learn and grow together, seeing your relationship not as a static entity but as a living, breathing thing that is constantly in flux. You are the person who can look at a problem from multiple angles and find a creative solution that no one else has considered. This is a beautiful gift in a world that can often feel too rigid and to set in its ways. You remind everyone that change is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. However, as with all the energies, this quality has its own set of challenges. Because you are so adaptable, you may sometimes struggle with indecisiveness or a feeling of being scattered. You might have so many options and so many ideas that it's difficult to settle on just one. You may find yourself wanting to go with the flow to such a degree that you do take a firm stand on important issues, which can sometimes leave your partner feeling ungrounded or unsure of your commitment. This isn't because you are non-committal, it's because your nature is to be fluid. The spiritual lesson for you here is to learn how to find your center even as you're in a state of flux. Let's use a relatable example. Imagine your partner is feeling stuck and wants to explore a new career path. The person with strong mutable energy is the one who will immediately say, "That's an amazing idea. What if we also looked at classes you could take? Or what if you talked to a few people in that industry and hey, what about that skill you learned last year? Maybe we could use that too." They are the ones who can synthesize all the new information and ideas and help their partner navigate the change with ease. They don't see a new career path as a problem. They see it as an exciting new chapter. They are a natural guide through times of transition, and that's a powerful gift to bring to a relationship. The spiritual insight here is that every relationship, no matter how committed, needs moments of mutable energy to adapt, to evolve, and to grow. Your mutable quality is a gift you bring to every connection. You are the one who can help a partnership navigate the inevitable changes of life with grace and ease. So, the question to reflect on is this: how can you use your mutable energy to create a dynamic, growing, and ever-evolving connection in your current relationships? We've spent a good amount of time celebrating the beautiful qualities of each modality. Now, in the spirit of a complete and honest self-reflection, we must also look at the other side of the coin, the shadow side. Let's start with the cardinal energy. As we've discussed, your core nature is to be the initiator, the starter, the person who gets things moving. This is a profound gift, but when it's not integrated and used mindfully, it can manifest as impatience, a tendency to rush, and a habit of abandoning projects once the initial excitement wanes. Think about a time you had a brilliant idea and you were so excited to start that you jumped into it without a plan. Maybe you bought all the supplies for a new hobby only to use them once and leave them in a closet. Or maybe you started a new diet with incredible enthusiasm for the first week. But once the rush of newness wore off, you couldn't find the motivation to continue. This is the shadow of cardinal energy at work. The drive to begin can be so strong that it overshadows the need for follow-through. You might find yourself being a master of beginnings and a novice at endings. Another way this shadow manifests is through a lack of consideration for others. Because your impulse is to act and to move forward, you might sometimes forget to consult with the people around you. You might initiate a new plan for your family without checking in with your partner, or you might make a decision for a team at work without consulting your colleagues. This isn't because you are malicious. It's simply because your mind is so focused on the forward momentum that you can overlook the need for collaboration and consensus. The spiritual principle here is that a beginning is only as good as its potential for completion. A seed must be nurtured to become a tree. Your spiritual challenge as a cardinal person is to learn how to honor your initiating impulse, while also cultivating a deeper relationship with the other two modalities. You need to consciously invite in the fixed energy to help you sustain and the mutable energy to help you adapt. This is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming a more whole and integrated version of yourself. Let's use a relatable scenario. You get the brilliant idea to plan a surprise trip for your partner. You book the flights, the hotel, and the activities, all in a rush of excitement. When you tell your partner, you're expecting them to be thrilled, but instead, they're upset. Why? Because you didn't consult them about their schedule, their preferences, or their needs. You acted on your own powerful initiating impulse, but you didn't consider the impact of your actions on another person. The lesson here is to ask yourself, am I initiating this action with others, or am I initiating it for them? The distinction is subtle, but it's a huge part of your growth. So, the question for you to sit with today is this. In what areas of your life are you so focused on the beginning that you are neglecting the middle and the end? We've now touched on the shadow side of cardinal energy, the tendency to initiate and then abandon. Let's turn our attention to the shadow of fixed energy. As a person with strong fixed qualities, your core nature is to be the sustainer, the reliable anchor. This is a beautiful gift of loyalty and consistency. But when it's not integrated and used mindfully, it can manifest as stubbornness, an inability to compromise, and a deep-seated resistance to change. Think about a time you held on to an idea or a plan, even when it was clear to everyone else that it wasn't working. Maybe you were so committed to a specific way of doing things that you could unsee a more efficient or effective path. Or perhaps you held on to a relationship or a friendship that had long passed its expiration date, simply because the idea of letting go felt too destabilizing. This is the shadow of fixed energy at work. The drive to hold steady can be so strong that it becomes a rigid, unmoving force, unwilling to bend or adapt. Another way this shadow manifests is through a fear of change. Because your sense of security is tied to consistency and stability, the unknown can feel deeply threatening. You might find yourself saying, "But that's the way we've always done it." Or, "I don't know if that's a good idea. It's too much of a risk." This isn't because you are cowardly. It's because your system is designed to seek and maintain stability. You are the rock, and rocks don't move easily. But the spiritual truth is that even rocks are subject to the forces of erosion and change over time. The spiritual principle here is that true stability comes not from standing still, but from having a strong core that can weather change. A tree is stable because its roots are deep, but it is also flexible because its branches can bend in the wind. Your spiritual challenge as a fixed person is to learn how to honor your need for stability while also cultivating a deeper relationship with the other two modalities. You need to consciously invite in the mutable energy to help you adapt and the cardinal energy to help you initiate new ideas. This is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming a more flexible and integrated version of yourself. Let's use a relatable scenario. You and a friend have a long-standing tradition of going to the same restaurant for your birthday every year. This year, your friend suggests trying a new place. Your initial reaction is one of internal resistance. You might say something like, "But we always go there. It's our thing." You are holding on to the comfort and security of the tradition. Your friend isn't trying to destabilize you. They are trying to bring a little bit of newness and excitement into the relationship. The lesson here is to ask yourself, am I holding on to this out of a love for tradition, or am I holding on to it out of a fear of change? The distinction is a huge part of your growth. So, the question for you to sit with today is this. In what areas of your life are you so focused on holding steady that you are resisting the very change that could lead to new growth? We've explored the shadows of cardinal and fixed energy. Now, let's shine a light on the shadow of mutable energy. As a person with strong mutable qualities, your core nature is to be the adapter, the great synthesizer. This is a beautiful gift of flexibility and flow, but when it's not integrated and used mindfully, it can manifest as a lack of follow-through, indecisiveness, and a tendency to be scattered. Think about a time you had a brilliant idea, and then another, and you just couldn't decide which one to pursue. You might have found yourself constantly pivoting, always looking for a new possibility, but never settling down long enough to see a single one through to completion. Or perhaps you committed to a project only to get distracted by something shiny and new, leaving the first project in a state of suspended animation. This is the shadow of mutable energy at work. The drive to adapt can be so strong that it becomes a form of aimlessness, a state of constant transition without a clear direction. Another way this shadow manifests is through a tendency to avoid conflict, because your nature is to find common ground and to harmonize. You might find yourself being a people pleaser, unwilling to take a firm stand for fear of upsetting someone. You might adapt your own opinions to fit the person you're with, leaving you feeling a little unsure of your own truth. This isn't because you are inauthentic, it's because your system is designed to flow and to find a way to connect. You are the great bridge builder, but a bridge must be anchored on both sides. The spiritual principle here is that freedom comes not from having infinite options, but from the ability to choose and commit to a single path. A river can flow in a million directions, but it only carves a path in one. Your spiritual challenge as a mutable person is to learn how to honor your fluid nature, while also cultivating a deeper relationship with the other two modalities. You need to consciously invite in the cardinal energy to help you initiate and the fixed energy to help you sustain. This is not about changing who you are, it's about becoming a more focused and integrated version of yourself. Let's use a relatable scenario. A friend asks you to make a decision about where to go for dinner. You look up 10 different restaurants, read the reviews for all of them, and then say, "I'm good with whatever you want to do." While this might seem easygoing, it can sometimes leave your friend feeling like they are carrying all the weight of the decision. You didn't make a choice because you were so busy considering every option that you never landed on one. The lesson here is to ask yourself, am I adapting out of a desire for harmony, or am I adapting out of a fear of making the wrong choice? The distinction is a huge part of your growth. So, the question for you to sit with today is this. In what areas of your life are you so focused on going with the flow that you are missing the opportunity to set a clear direction for yourself? So far, we've broken down each modality and its shadow. Now, let's bring this knowledge home and make it personal. The most transformative part of this journey is looking at the balance of modalities in your own birth chart. You are not just one or the other. You are a beautiful, complex blend of all three. Your dominant energy might be a clear signal of your natural tendencies, but you also have the other energies living within you, waiting to be activated. The first step is to simply find out where your planets are. You can use any number of free online birth chart calculators. Once you have your chart, look at the signs of your sun, moon, and rising, and then note which modality they fall into. For instance, if your sun is in Aries Cardinal, your moon is in Taurus Fixed, and your rising is in Gemini Mutable, you have a strong representation of all three energies in your core identity. But don't stop there. Look at your other planets as well. Where is Mars, the planet of action? Where is Venus, the planet of love? A cluster of planets in one modality will tell you a lot about your dominant energy. For example, if you have your Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in fixed signs, you'll feel that anchor of persistence very strongly in your life. Understanding your dominant modality is like getting the owner's manual for your spirit. It explains why you operate the way you do. If you find that you have a heavy emphasis on cardinal energy, you can stop judging yourself for not finishing every single project you start. You are an initiator, and your purpose is to get the ball rolling. This doesn't mean you can't learn to follow through, but it means you can work with your natural energy instead of against it. You might even find that your job or your relationships are a better fit for you, if they allow you to be the one who starts things. If you have a heavy emphasis on fixed energy, you can stop feeling guilty for your resistance to change. Your purpose is to build, to sustain, and to bring things to completion. You are a master of patience and commitment. The world needs your steady hand. This doesn't mean you can't learn to be more flexible, but it means you can honor your need for security and consistency. You might find that you thrive in roles that require long-term dedication and reliability. And if you have a heavy emphasis on mutable energy, you can release the feeling that you are too scattered or too indecisive. Your purpose is to adapt, to flow, and to find new paths. You are a master of communication and transition. The world needs your flexibility and your ability to see all sides of an issue. This doesn't mean you can't learn to focus, but it means you can honor your need for freedom and intellectual curiosity. You might find that you are happiest in roles that require you to be a problem solver or a bridge builder. The spiritual principle here is that self-knowledge is the first step toward self-acceptance. Once you understand the energies that are most dominant in your chart, you can begin to work with them, not against them. You can forgive yourself for your natural tendencies and begin to consciously cultivate the energies you might be lacking. So, go ahead and look at your chart. What is your dominant energy? What is the one that is most lacking? The answers to these questions are a powerful key to unlocking a deeper level of self-acceptance and spiritual growth. Now that you have a sense of your dominant modality from looking at your chart, let's explore how these energies aren't just separate forces, but are in constant interplay within your life. You are never just one thing. Even if your chart is heavily weighted in one modality, you still have all 12 signs and all 3 modalities present. The question isn't which one you are, but rather how they dance together within you to create your unique rhythm. Think of it like a conversation happening in your spirit. Your cardinal side says, "I have this brilliant idea." Your fixed side responds, "That's a great idea, but we need a solid plan to make it happen." And your mutable side chimes in, and we also need to be ready to pivot if things change. All three are essential, and the most successful and fulfilled people are those who have learned how to consciously engage all three parts of their being. When you're faced with a new challenge, your initial impulse might be driven by your dominant modality, but your ability to navigate that challenge successfully depends on your ability to call on the other two. For example, let's say your dominant energy is Cardinal. You're a natural at starting things, but you've noticed a pattern of leaving projects unfinished. When you feel that initial burst of inspiration for a new project, instead of just impulsively jumping in, you can consciously ask yourself, what would my fixed self do right now? This question prompts you to slow down, to think about the long-term plan, and to create a solid foundation before you move forward. You are actively integrating your fixed energy. Likewise, if your dominant energy is fixed, you might find yourself resisting a change that you know is necessary. When you feel that rigidity set in, you can ask yourself, what would my mutable self do right now? This question prompts you to consider new possibilities, to look at the situation from a different angle, and to find a way to gracefully adapt. You are consciously integrating your mutable energy, and in doing so, you are allowing yourself to flow instead of becoming stagnant. And if your dominant energy is mutable, you might find yourself with a million ideas, but no clear direction. When you feel that feeling of being scattered, you can ask yourself, what would my cardinal self do? This question prompts you to choose one idea and to take the very first step. You are actively inviting your cardinal energy to give you the push you need to get going. The spiritual principle here is that wholeness is not about being a perfect representation of one energy, but about having a beautiful, harmonious relationship with all three. This is a journey of self-awareness and conscious integration. It's about knowing your natural tendencies and then mindfully choosing to call on the energies you might be lacking. So, let's take a moment and think about a current project or goal you're working on. Where did you get stuck? Was it at the beginning a cardinal issue? In the middle, a fixed issue? Or at a point of transition, a mutable issue? The answer to this question is a powerful clue to what part of your own energy you need to call on to move forward. Building on that idea of interplay, let's zoom in on a powerful dynamic: the synergy between cardinal and fixed energies. In many ways, these two modalities are the perfect dynamic duo. Cardinal energy is the spark, the initiator, the one who brings the vision into being. Fixed energy is the anchor, the builder, the one who gives that vision form and substance. Without a cardinal person to start the fire, there would be nothing for the fixed person to sustain. And without a fixed person to tend the fire, the cardinal spark would simply fizzle out. Think about a new business venture. The person with strong cardinal energy is the one who says, I'm going to start a yoga studio. They get so excited about the idea that they immediately start looking at spaces, creating a business name, and talking to potential teachers. They are all about the beginning, the thrill of the launch. The person with strong fixed energy is the one who steps in and says, that's a great idea. Let's create a detailed financial plan, get the permits, and build out the space. They are the ones who are focused on the long-term viability, the nuts and bolts of making it happen. The cardinal person provides the creative vision, and the fixed person provides the stability to bring it to fruition. In relationships, this dynamic is equally beautiful. A cardinal person might be the one who initiates the connection, always coming up with new date ideas or new ways to keep the relationship fresh. The fixed person, on the other hand, is the one who provides the security and commitment, the unwavering loyalty that allows the relationship to feel safe and stable. One partner is focused on keeping things moving forward, while the other is focused on building a solid, unshakable foundation. When these two energies work together, they can create something that is both dynamic and enduring. The spiritual principle here is that action and stability are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they are two halves of a greater whole. You cannot build a house without first laying the foundation, but you also cannot have a house without the vision to build it. The most powerful creations come from a harmonious relationship between the initial spark and the sustained effort. This is the divine rhythm of creation and manifestation. Let's use a simple, real-world example. You have a great idea for a weekend project. You want to paint a room in your house? Your cardinal self gets you to the store to buy the paint and the supplies, and it gets you to put on the first coat. But your fixed self is the one that says, I am going to finish this whole room perfectly, even if it takes all weekend. The cardinal energy gets you started, but the fixed energy gets you to the finish line. The thought-provoking question for you to ponder today is this: in what areas of your life can you be a better initiator by consciously inviting a sense of stability, or a better sustainer by welcoming a new spark? So we've explored the dynamic between the initiator and the sustainer. Now, let's delve into the fascinating collaboration between fixed and mutable energies. This is the dynamic of the grounded transformer, the synergy between stability and graceful change. Fixed energy, as we've discussed, is the anchor right holds things steady and provides a solid foundation. Mutable energy is the current it allows for flow, adaptation, and transition. When these two energies work together, they can create something that is both deeply rooted and incredibly resilient. Think about a long-standing organization that needs to evolve. The people with strong fixed energy are the ones who are holding the vision and the values of the company steady. They are the ones who are ensuring that the core mission doesn't get lost. The people with strong mutable energy are the ones who are saying we need to change our approach to marketing. We need to adapt our business model. We need to find new ways to connect with our customers. They are the ones who are synthesizing new information and proposing new ways forward. The fixed energy provides the stability for the organization to weather the change, while the mutable energy provides the necessary flexibility to ensure it survives and thrives. In relationships, this dynamic is equally beautiful. A fixed person might be the one who provides the security and consistency, the unwavering loyalty that allows a relationship to feel safe. The mutable person, on the other hand, is the one who brings the fun, the spontaneity, and the adaptability. When a fixed person and a mutable person are in a partnership, the fixed partner is often the one who provides the stability of a routine or a home base, while the mutable partner is the one who suggests new restaurants, new travel destinations, or new ways to communicate. The mutable partner's energy of change is grounded and made safe by the fixed partner's steady commitment. The spiritual principle here is that true strength comes not from being unmoving, but from having a strong core that can adapt to the ever-changing tides of life. You cannot have a strong, resilient system without both an anchor and a current. This is the divine rhythm of endurance and evolution. It is the wisdom of the tree that stands firm in a storm while its branches bend and sway. Let's use a simple, real-world example. You have a goal to get in shape, and you've been working on it with great discipline. Your fixed energy. You're doing the same workout routine every day, and you're eating the same healthy meals. But you've hit a plateau. Your mutable energy is the one that says, let's change it up. What if we tried a new class or a new type of exercise? What if we tried a different kind of food? The fixed energy provides the discipline to stick with a plan, but the mutable energy provides the wisdom to know when the plan needs to be adjusted. The thought-provoking question for you to ponder today is this: in what areas of your life can you honor your need for stability while also allowing for graceful change? We've explored the synergy between cardinal and fixed, and then fixed and mutable. Now let us turn to the final and perhaps most intriguing dynamic: the partnership between mutable and cardinal energies. This is the energy of the fluid innovator, the collaboration between adaptability and new beginnings. Mutable energy is the great synthesizer, the one who can see all sides of an issue and is comfortable with change. Cardinal energy is the powerful initiator, the one who can take a leap of faith and start something entirely new. When these two energies work together, they can create something that is both revolutionary and deeply insightful. Think about the process of writing a book. The person with strong mutable energy is the one who is constantly researching, gathering information, and exploring different angles and ideas. They are open to all possibilities and are comfortable with the process of letting the story unfold as it wants to. The person with strong cardinal energy is the one who says, I'm going to start writing this book now. They are the ones who set the first page, who write the first chapter, and who give the project the necessary momentum to get going. The mutable person provides the breadth of ideas and the willingness to adapt, while the cardinal person provides the focused drive to start the actual work. In relationships, this dynamic is equally beautiful. A mutable person might be the one who can adapt to a partner's changing needs, who can go with the flow of a new schedule, or who can find a way to make a relationship work, even when things get difficult. The cardinal person is the one who is always looking for the next new adventure, who is always suggesting a new hobby or a new way to spend time together. The mutable partner's adaptability makes the cardinal partner's urge for newness feel less like a threat and more like an exciting new possibility. The cardinal partner's drive gives the mutable partner's fluid nature a sense of forward momentum, helping them avoid the feeling of being scattered. The spiritual principle here is that adaptability is not a weakness. It is a powerful catalyst for new beginnings. A river can change its course, and in doing so, it can carve a new path through the landscape. This is the divine rhythm of evolution and innovation. It is the wisdom of the person who knows that sometimes the only way to move forward is to be willing to change everything. Let's use a simple, real-world example. You have been feeling a little stuck in your career, a fixed challenge. Your mutable energy is the one that has been gathering information about new job possibilities, taking online courses, and talking to different people about their career paths. Your cardinal energy is the one that says, I'm going to apply for this job right now. The mutable energy provides the intellectual flexibility, while the cardinal energy provides the courage to take the first step. The thought-provoking question for you to ponder today is this: in what areas of your life can you use your flexibility to fuel a new, exciting beginning? Now, let's bring it all together and reframe the modalities, not just as qualities, but as a cyclical journey that you are on every single day. Life is a constant process of beginning, sustaining, and adapting, and you can consciously engage with each of these phases. It's the moment of inspiration, the rush of a new idea, the conscious decision to take a first step. This is the moment when you plant the seed. You decide to start a new business, a new relationship, or a new creative project. This is the time to be bold, to be brave, and to trust your instincts. Without this initiating energy, nothing would ever get done. Once you've begun, you must enter the phase of fixed energy. This is the time of sustained effort, of showing up day after day, of tending to the seed you have planted. This is the part of the journey that requires patience, discipline, and commitment. It's not flashy, but it is the most essential part of the process. This is where you do the hard, consistent work of making your dream a reality. You show up for your relationship, you work on your business plan, you practice your new skill. Without this sustaining energy, the seed you planted would never grow. Finally, you must enter the phase of mutable energy. This is the time of transition, of adapting to the inevitable changes that will occur. The plant you are growing might need a new kind of soil. The relationship you are in might need a new way of communicating. This is the time to be flexible, to release what is no longer working, and to synthesize new information. Without this adaptable energy, you would become too rigid and unable to weather the storms of life. The spiritual principle here is that all three of these energies are necessary for a life of purpose and fulfillment. You cannot just be an initiator. You must also be a sustainer and an adapter. You cannot just be a sustainer. You must also be willing to initiate and to adapt. You cannot just be an adapter. You must also be willing to initiate and to sustain. Which phase are you in? Are you in the initial exciting phase of cardinal energy? Are you in the hard, consistent phase of fixed energy? Or are you in the transitional, adaptable phase of mutable energy? Journey and what energy you need to call on to move forward? We've explored the modalities as a journey, and now it's time to get even more specific. If you looked at your chart and found a heavy concentration of planets in cardinal signs, or if you simply feel a strong pull to be the initiator, this section is for you. Your spiritual work isn't about denying your powerful drive to begin, but about harnessing it with intention and mindfulness. The shadow of cardinal energy is impulsivity and the tendency to abandon what you start. Your path to greater wholeness is to learn how to be a conscious initiator rather than an impulsive one. The first step is simple. Before you act, take a breath. That split-second pause can create the space you need to move from an unconscious reaction to a conscious choice. When that flash of inspiration hits you, whether it's to start a new business, send a bold text, or jump into a new relationship, simply pause. Don't let your hand hit the send button or your feet start running. Just for a moment, let that energy settle. This is you consciously calling on your inner fixed and mutable wisdom. Once you've taken that breath, ask yourself this question: what is the next right step, not just the first one? A cardinal person is a master of the first step, but the next right step might not be the most exciting one. It might be to research, to plan, or to consult with someone else. This practice of conscious initiation is what separates a flash in the pan from a lasting creation. It's the difference between starting 100 projects and bringing one to a beautiful, fulfilling conclusion. Let's use a real-world scenario. You get a sudden idea for a creative project that you are passionate about. Your cardinal instinct is to immediately go buy all the supplies, tell everyone about it, and start a social media page. This is the impulsive side. The more mindful approach is to first sit down with a notebook. The first right step might be to brainstorm a list of supplies you'll need, to think about a long-term plan, and to consider who you could collaborate with. This is still a form of initiation, but it is one that is infused with purpose and planning. The spiritual principle here is that your greatest power lies in the conscious direction of your energy. You have an incredible gift for igniting new beginnings. Your spiritual practice is to ensure that those beginnings are rooted in intention, not just impulse. Your power is not just in the go, but in the go with a purpose. So, the next time you feel that surge of initiating energy, take a moment and reflect. The thought-provoking question for you today is this: how can you use your power to begin to create something that you are not just excited to start, but also deeply committed to seeing through? We've reflected on how to mindfully harness cardinal energy. Now, let's turn to those of you with a strong fixed presence in your charts. Your spiritual work isn't about denying your powerful need for stability, but about learning to be a grounded presence without becoming a rigid one. The shadow of fixed energy is stubbornness and resistance to change. Your path to greater wholeness is to learn how to be an anchor that can also flow, an enduring presence that can also adapt. The first step is to recognize when your resistance to change is rooted in fear, not wisdom. That feeling of a pit in your stomach when a new idea is presented, is it a wise warning, or is it simply your system reacting to the unknown? A good practice is to ask yourself, what would happen if I just said yes to this new idea? This is you consciously calling on your inner mutable wisdom to consider possibilities you might have otherwise dismissed. You don't have to follow through on the idea, but simply considering it can soften your rigidity. Once you've done that, the next step is to ask yourself, what can I hold on to while everything else changes? A fixed person doesn't need to get rid of their need for stability, but they can learn to apply it in a new way. You can hold on to the intention behind a project while being flexible with the details. You can hold on to the love in a relationship while being open to a new way of expressing it. You can hold on to the purpose of your job while being open to a new role or a new way of working. This is the difference between a tree that refuses to bend and a tree with deep roots that allows its branches to sway in the wind. The one that bends is the one that survives. Let's use a real-world scenario. Your team at work has a long-standing process for a certain task. It's not the most efficient, but it's what you know and it feels secure. Your fixed energy wants to hold on to that. But a new team member suggests a new process that is faster and more effective. Your initial reaction is to say no. The more mindful approach is to first listen to the idea with an open mind. Then you can say, that's an interesting idea. Let us see how we can pilot it on a small scale without losing the quality we've built. You're still honoring your need for stability and quality, but you are allowing for a new path. The spiritual principle here is that your greatest power lies in your ability to provide a secure foundation. And that foundation is strongest when it is also flexible. Your spiritual practice is to ensure that your deep well of commitment and loyalty is used to build something lasting, not to hold on to something that no longer serves you. So, the next time you feel that pull to dig in your heels and resist change, take a moment and reflect. The thought-provoking question for you today is this: how can you use your power to hold steady, to build a foundation that is strong enough to support the winds of change? We've explored how to mindfully harness cardinal and fixed energies. Now, let's turn to those of you with a strong, mutable presence in your charts. Your spiritual work isn't about denying your powerful need for flexibility, but about learning how to be a fluid presence that also has a sense of direction. The shadow of mutable energy is indecisiveness and the tendency to be scattered. Your path to greater wholeness is to find a sense of center, even as you are in a state of constant flow. The first step is to recognize when your desire to go with the flow is actually a form of avoidance. That feeling of wanting to keep all your options open, is it a wise strategy, or is it a fear of making the wrong choice? A good practice is to ask yourself, if I could only choose one thing right now, what would it be? This is you consciously calling on your inner cardinal wisdom to initiate a single intentional action. You don't have to stick with that choice forever, but simply making it can help you get out of the state of being scattered. Once you've done that, the next step is to ask yourself, what is the one thread that connects all of my interests? A mutable person doesn't need to get rid of their many interests, but they can learn to find the core purpose that unites them. You can be interested in 10 different things, but maybe the common thread is that you are fascinated by the way people communicate. Or maybe all of your different hobbies are a way for you to express your creativity. This practice of finding the core purpose is what gives your life a sense of direction, even as you are constantly adapting. It's the difference between a river that flows aimlessly and a river that is carving a beautiful, winding path. Let's use a real-world scenario. You have a dozen different creative projects that you're working on. You have a half-finished painting, a half-written story, and a half-learned musical instrument. Your mutable energy wants to keep jumping from one to the other. The more mindful approach is to first recognize that all of these projects are an expression of your creative spirit. Then you can say, I am going to focus on this one project for just 1 hour today. You're still honoring your need for variety, but you are also allowing yourself to make progress and to bring a sense of intention to your creative flow. The spiritual principle here is that your greatest power lies in your ability to find purpose in your flow. Your spiritual practice is to ensure that your deep well of adaptability and curiosity is used to create a meaningful journey, not just a series of random events. So, the next time you feel that pull to keep all your options open, take a moment and reflect. The thought-provoking question for you today is this: how can you use your power to adapt and to flow to create a beautiful and purposeful life? We have journeyed through the 3 modalities, their unique powers and their potential shadows. We've looked at their interplay and offered specific reflections for each. Now, the final and most essential step is to consciously integrate the energies of all 3 modalities into your daily life for greater balance and fulfillment. This isn't just a mental exercise. It is an ongoing spiritual practice. You are a complete being and you have access to all of these energies at all times. The key is to learn to be the conscious director of them rather than a passive observer of your natural tendencies. Think of it like being an artist with a palette of 3 colors: red, cardinal; blue, fixed; and yellow, mutable. Your dominant modality is the color you are most comfortable with, the one you use most often. But a truly masterful painting uses a blend of all 3. You can't just have beginnings, or just have stability, or just have adaptation. A life of purpose and joy requires a conscious blend of all 3. So, how do you do this? The first step is to simply start a new practice. Before you start a task, take a moment to identify which energy is most needed. Are you at the beginning of a new project? Call on your cardinal energy. Close your eyes for a moment and feel that rush of inspiration, that feeling of a new beginning. Say to yourself, "I am an initiator. I will take the first step." This simple act of conscious intention can give you the push you need to get going. Are you in the middle of a project that is feeling tedious or difficult? Call on your fixed energy. Close your eyes and feel that sense of deep, unwavering commitment. Say to yourself, "I am a sustainer. I will hold this vision steady and see it through." This simple act of conscious intention can give you the patience and persistence you need to keep going. Are you faced with an unexpected change or a major roadblock? Call on your mutable energy. Close your eyes and feel that sense of flow and flexibility. Say to yourself, "I am an adapter. I will find a way to navigate this change with grace and ease." This simple act of conscious intention can give you the clarity and creativity you need to find a new path forward. The spiritual principle here is that your life is not happening to you. You are a conscious co-creator of it. You have access to all the divine energies of the cosmos. Your work is to learn how to wield them with grace and wisdom. This is the essence of true spiritual mastering: to be perfect in one thing, but to be fluid and adaptable enough to be a master of all things. Think about one small thing you can do today to consciously practice this integration. Maybe it's to start a small new project that you've been putting off. Maybe it's to stick with a difficult task for just 10 more minutes. Or maybe it's to let go of a plan that is no longer working and embrace a new one. The small daily choices are where this deep spiritual work truly happens. We've arrived at the final section of our journey. We started by unpacking the 3 fundamental energies that govern our lives: cardinal, the initiator; fixed, the sustainer; and mutable, the adapter. We explored how these energies express themselves in our personalities, our relationships, and our approach to life's challenges. We delved into their shadow sides, not to judge them, but to bring them into the light so we can work with them more consciously. We looked at how these energies interplay, creating a beautiful and complex tapestry within each of us. And we ended by reframing them as a powerful, cyclical journey that we can all consciously engage with. The most important lesson in all of this is that you are a complete being and you have access to all of these divine energies. The universe doesn't ask you to be perfect in one modality. It asks you to learn the rhythm of all 3. It asks you to be brave enough to start something new, patient enough to see it through, and flexible enough to let it go when the time is right. The more you practice this conscious awareness, the more you will find that your life begins to flow with a sense of purpose and ease that you may have never felt before. You are not a victim of your personality. You are a conscious co-creator of your reality. So, for the rest of this week, I want you to meditate on this one thought. What is the energy I need most right now? Is it the courage to begin, the patience to sustain, or the grace to let go? The answer is within you. Trust your intuition to guide you. Every single one of us has the power to initiate, sustain, and adapt. Your journey is unique, but it is also a part of this grand cosmic rhythm. Keep trusting your inner wisdom and remember that you are a beautiful and complete expression of the cosmos itself. That's all for today. Keep trusting your intuition, and I'll see you in the next one.